2024. The time it's 11:01 a.m. My name is Juan Rivera, and I will be serving as the Health Systems Division Behavioral Health Hearings Officer. The hearing is now in session, and it is being recorded to maintain a permanent record. Today is Friday, August 16th, 2024, and the time is 11:01 a.m. The purpose of this hearing is to record public comment on the proposed rules for Chapters 944, Division 010, Behavioral Health Resource Networks, and Division 020, Drug Treatment and Recovery Services Funds, DTRSF grants. Please keep the comments on the subject of the rules being proposed today for Chapter 944, Division 0110, Behavioral Health Resource Networks, and Division 020, Drug Treatment and Recovery Services Fund, DTRSF grants. During the hearing today, the division and the program staff present will not respond to any direct questions during this hearing. The division will review comments from the hearing and the public comment period. In addition to oral comments made at this hearing, anyone may submit written comments until 5 p.m. on September 18th, 2024. Any comments received after that time will not be reviewed or considered by the division. Please send comments to bhrulemaking@dhsoha.state.or.us. When you are ready to provide comment, please use the raise hand function if available, or if on the phone, just let us know you'd like to provide comment. Or you can put your name in the chat, and we will call you in the order that we are seeing them come in. Any comments? Actually, sorry, I apologize. When giving public comment, please state your name and affiliation and the rules you are commenting on. At this point in time, I would like to open up the public comment to anyone who would like to provide oral comment. I don't see anyone who is, oh, there's, yes, Blue Valentine.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to make a comment on the rules, and it was a little hard for me to follow the instructions, but is it okay to make comments on things that are not just the proposed changes?
It's just for the proposed changes, since those are the ones that are being considered today.
Okay. Will there be any way to make comments on the rules that are not in the proposed changes?
You are always welcome to email me at the email bhrulemaking for any proposed suggestions, edits, or anything like that, and then we send them to the division. But as far as what's being considered for today, it's only on the Division 10 and Division 20. Any other rules that you would like, you can always email me, and I will always pass it over to the program of concern.
Okay. Well, I need to look again then to see if my comments are related to that. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And you can always send written comments. So even if you don't get it today, again, we're going to be taking written comments all the way up to September 18th, 2024 at 5 p.m. And I just dropped my email in there, bhrulemaking@dhsoha.state.or.us. So you can also send them. If they're not oral, you can also email them to us. Anyone would like to provide oral comment on the proposed rules today? I see a Summer Walcott.
Hello, yes, I would like to comment on the rule regarding ongoing peer supervision. The proposed changes include 1 hour per week of supervision by a peer supervisor, as well as 1 hour a week by a clinical supervisor when they're in a clinical setting. 2 hours a week is really a lot of supervision and can be very difficult to manage in treatment settings. And my recommendation would be to add a tiered process where after they have a certain amount of experience, that decreases to be more in line with the supervision of other credentialed staff. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Anyone else would like to provide oral comment at this time? Blue Valentine.
Okay, I'm hoping that that I'm understanding this right. So I had concerns over some of the definitions which are in the proposed rule changes. I noticed that within the definitions, burn or behavioral health resource network was clearly defined, but I did not see a clear definition for burns being plural. And I would like to explain why I think that is that needs to be clarified, and I just wanted to check and see if that would be appropriate.
Yeah, so long as they're related to the burn, yes, go for it.
Okay, so the term burns plural is used throughout the rules, and I was on the Oversight and Accountability Council for 2 years, and I know that when the council had written the rules, the intention was that the term burns referred to each burn, and with the first round of funding that went out for burns, the way that the funds were distributed, it was apparent that there were different interpretations of the term burns. There were some interpretations that thought burns could just mean some of the burns, or collectively the burns could provide things, and the term burns is used within the Chapter 944 rules to describe that burns must maintain and implement policies and procedures, that they must house people across the spectrum of substance use and house people across the gender spectrum, that they must offer different types of rental assistance, that they must refer to expungement or offer expungement, that they must honor tribal sovereignty and self-determination, that they must give individuals an opportunity to sign a release of information, and that they must maintain partnerships and clear referral pathways to appropriate services. So I would like to see the term burns changed to say each burn, or within the definitions, define burns as each burn, so that there is equity across the state of Oregon, so that we can ensure that within each burn, people are being housed across the substance use spectrum and the gender spectrum. I think that's one of the biggest impacts that language has, being that some people have seen it as ambivalent. And I also just want to point out that there is a requirement for rental assistance to be offered in each burn, and that is aligned with the current RFGA. So just offering rental assistance to people across the gender spectrum and the substance use spectrum could solve that issue without having to create any new types of housing, or really have very much overhead cost at all. So that is my comment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to provide oral comment at this time? Holly Harris. Go for it.
Hello. I would just like to provide comment on the section 944-010-0040 around assessments. I just think the wording in particular on item number 2 it doesn't seem like it allows for a master's level clinician without an SUD credential to perform these assessments. I would want to just clarify or have some information that they can, since they are actually qualified to do that. And since any master's level clinician can assess and diagnose for SUD. So I don't know if just wanted to make that note. And then secondly, on item B, under that same section, it's the same language that's in the outpatient rules, where there's confusion about SUD diagnosis in the ASAM when it's not a requirement for the ASAM. It can be added, but I think it should be optional, so there's flexibility here if you have already provided the diagnosis in a separate comprehensive assessment. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to provide oral comment at this time? Okay, not seeing anyone's hands or any name in the chat, I will pause the recording, but as soon as you're ready to provide oral comment, please let me know and we'll resume the recording. We are here till 12 o'clock today. Pausing the recording now.
Recording stopped.
And I do see that some have just joined us, so we are here for a public hearing for Chapter 944, Division 10 and Division 20, Division 20. If you'd like to provide oral comment, please let me know and I can resume the recording. Otherwise, we are here till 12 o'clock. Thank you. Hello, so just making another announcement. It's 11:23 a.m. We are here till noon, but I wanted to see if anyone else would like to provide oral comment at this time. Okay, not seeing any hands up or any information in the chat. I will just hang out until someone informs me they would like to provide oral comment. And again, just a reminder, you can send written comments to us until 5 p.m. on September 18th, 2024. I will drop the information in the chat again. You will be able to email us to bhrulemaking@dhsoha.state.or.us. Thank you. And then Blue Valentine, did you have a comment?
I do, thank you.
Recording in progress.
I just wanted to make sure that I was commenting in the right way in the right room. So I just had a separate public comment that in some of the proposed changes, harm reduction services are defined in a way that can include, but are not limited to, a whole list of different things, which are all harm reduction interventions. And I would like that part of the rules to be amended to require more comprehensive harm reduction services, as there are currently multiple burns funded to provide harm reduction services that are only distributing naloxone. And that feels like the bare minimum when there is an opportunity to make a bigger impact by funding more comprehensive harm reduction services. Since the current RFGA has already been released, the rules could propose that comprehensive harm reduction programs are funded in the next grant cycle instead of the current one, similar to how referrals for expungement services would be a requirement after a certain date, as opposed to immediately. The reason why I feel this is so important is because new HIV cases are on the rise throughout Oregon, including in rural communities. In Eastern Oregon, HIV cases almost quadrupled between 2020 and 2021, and they continue to increase. New HIV cases in Clackamas County have almost doubled in the past 5 years. So I'm hoping you can consider this so that in future RFGAs, there will be an opportunity to fund more comprehensive harm reduction services. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to provide oral comment at this time? Okay, not seeing any hands up or anything in the chat. I will pause the recording, but please let me know if you'd like to provide oral comment. Otherwise, we can still take your written comments until 5 p.m. on September 18th, 2024 at bhrulemaking@dhsoha.state.or.us. And that's been dropped in the chat. It is 11:28. We're here for another 32 minutes. Thank you.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
It is 11:45 a.m., August 16th, 2024, and we are here for a public hearing for Chapter 944, Division 0110, Behavioral Health Resource Network, and Division 020, Drug Treatment and Recovery Fund, DTRSF grants. Would anyone like to provide oral comment as we have 15 minutes left? Okay, not seeing anyone. I'm going to drop some information in our chat that please you can still send written comments to us by 5 p.m. on September 18th, 2024 to bhrulemaking@dhsoha.state.or.us. We're here for looks like 14 more minutes. Let me know if you would like to write oral comment. I'm pausing the recording now.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Well, it looks like we're ending our time. It is 11:58 a.m. So I'm going to